Hello, welcome to the Reframing Mindset podcast. We are clear my head of the thoughts that are preventing clarity, practice my speech, among other things. Episodes range from informative knowledge to funny stories about my experiences, and in the future, maybe include interviews. So subscribe and enjoy. Episodes drop every other day. Okay, welcome back to the Frame Mindset Podcast. My name is Carson Brooks. I know this episode I talk about the second year of the home ownership again. And then one of the next thing is and I said one of the things that being the homeowner, one of the things I always is that, when you're growing up and you're not and it's not your own thing, you always take care less care of it. But now we're in a position where you're owning your stuff. You're actually taking active care of it. You're taking active care of it. And then, but I, going being in this position now, I think what the difference between back then when I was just growing up in not my own home and being a homeowner now, because I've actually been in different places, dorms. When I was at university, I was on a dorm and such. And I took proper care of that in when I had my own room. When I had in the first year, I kind of took somewhat little care of it because I was younger. But the as I got older, when I got my own single room in my third year, I took more care of that room compared to the years before. And then now being a homeowner, I'm taking more, I'm doing more active caring for the place. In the sense that why I'm doing it is because why I'm actually doing it is because you know before want to get somebody to do something no Bec- because if growing up it's my one of the thing was my family always saying oh you need to do this do all these chores and stuff. W- you know being we've come a far way, the family has come a far way, but back then what was lacking was the explaining the importance of doing those stuff. That was what was lacking growing up back then. So when I was being told to do certain chores, if I did not do certain chores, what would just basically happen after that would be punishment. So there's no explanation as to why. But why those chores were important, what would just basically happen is that you do these chores or a certain punishment. So that was it. So being older now and past through that phase and being a homeowner now, I understand the importance of doing those chores. But not only that, I understand better ways of implementing of doing those chores. But the other thing also is that when you understand, being your ownership, when you understand the importance of doing those chores, you you can do two things. You can find better way of doing it. You can find better way of cleaning it. Like for example, in the old versus new way episode I speak about, back in the days, family usually hand wash things, but now we have machines, washing machines, and then some people have dryers. I don't have a dryer yet. Alright, so it's not the sense that I do not do and seeing the hand washing thing. So there'll be situations like if, for example, if there's a power outage and I need to wash the clothes, I will have to do hand washing. So I it's not the sense that the washing machine fully replace the old way of doing things, just make it less like make it more convenient and more faster of doing those stuff. But once you're in the position where actually on your own, you recognize the importance of doing those stuff. You're recognizing the importance of having a clean space, having a clean space, and recognize that doing chores, recognize the importance of cooking a good meal versus like fast food and all those stuff. You learn those importance, and then you what happened because you learn those importance in adulthood. In adulthood, what happens is that in your adult years, when you're a child, you're just basically carefree. But when you're in that adulthood, these responsibilities, the filter and stuff, will just force you into actually wanting to do it because, you know, if you don't do it, it's not going to get better. It's not like you have a assistant or anything. It's either you or nothing. So, me being at this home place on my own now, I'm not rich like that to afford a cleaner. I have to actually do the thing like cleaning my own shower and stuff. And it's important for me to do that in this. Why? Because if I'm going to say, okay, I'm going to do this and try to get someone to do it for me, one of the things is that I may spend a lot of money and then do these things. And then, but the type of home that I'm in, I'm basically able to do it myself at low cost. So I would actually be wasting money to actually hire someone to actually do these things for me at this point. Maybe if I had a mansion or something like that, it would make sense. But no, at this point, it doesn't make that sense. What what would make sense would be for me to actually learn what it takes to actually do that, or maybe get advice from someone who would actually do these things more to actually so to do it more effectively, so I could actually do it. And when I actually do it, what happens is that boom, I'm able to do it without need to pay anything. I'll just need to do now just go to the the store, buy the necessary things to to clean it, and then boom, I clean it. And the same thing as well for each aspect of the home, mopping the floor, sweeping up. I don't need to hire someone for that. It's best for me to do it. And best for me to do it as well. And when you learn to do it, when you have what the difference would be now if when I have a family and growing a family now, the difference in what I would actually do is is not the sense that I would actually the punishment will go away. I guess that was still maybe still implemented because it's one thing to explain the importance, but it's the next thing to actually get the children to buy into it. Next thing would be for me. So what would be different is that what they never had was would explain the importance of actually doing those chores because going through the process now adult doing I understand the importance. I see the difference between when the shower is clean versus not clean. Like, you know, having a dirty shower makes it is proof to you that showering or taking a bath is really important to your health because you would expect something like that it to be relatively clean. But over time, if you do not do anything to those shower, it will get it will get dirty. So that is something you have to do on a regular, just like cleaning your floor, sweeping and mopping. You have to do those things regularly. And having that done now, see the importance of doing it. So what happens if I invite somebody over, the place is really cleaner. If I were to do that in the first year, it will not be as clean as it is now because I was focused on other stuff. So in the second year of home ownership now, it's a lot more presentable. And I'm doing more things on what I'm doing now. I'm learning more ways to actually clean more effectively so that it's more presentable. It's more presentable. And so those are the things that so one of the great thing about the podcast is that you're seeing even if you're someone that can't afford a home, you're hearing all my experiences of getting being a homeowner now so that you're seeing all the things that you will have to do just to maintain it, so that when you hear, you just basically on these episodes, I'll basically can write these things down and be like, okay, boom, when I'm here now, I know that these are all the things that, that I will have to do. And it's like, yo, you're way ahead of the game. You're way ahead of the game. So yeah, that's one of the things that I'm actually taking my time to do now in the second year of home ownership. To effectively clean the bathroom aspect of the home, keep that well clean, because that is an important aspect to always keep clean if you're going to invite guests over and stuff like that. Have to always keep the bathroom clean, because somehow, somewhere they always need to use the bathroom, and the kitchen as well. But my kitchen is always relatively clean. Yeah, it's always. I still need to actually do more effective ways of actually cleaning that more. But prior to home ownership, oh my god, you rarely ever get me seen doing this stuff. But now I'm older and wiser, and actually say, okay, these are things that are important now. So that's all. Yes, that's how evolution works. You have to actually evolve, or not, or there be no changes. And it's one of those things where you can't, if you have a girlfriend or such like that, and be like, oh no, I'm not. What I realize that it's good to get someone else to do it, but it's important to actually do it yourself as well. What that's the rewarding thing about when you actually can do certain things yourself. Yeah, that's the important part of being independent. So when you actually come in now and presenting your case about, you're not reliant on certain qualities in another person. You'll be like, okay, no, I can do these things. I can focus on doing this other stuff. They come in now, you just like hiring assistant episode. You just make my work lighter. It's not me losing an ability, just that me, you just having them in your life now. You're just making your work lighter. Be able to actually do it sometime and stuff. And the thing about it is that if they don't buy into that as well, they can basically say like, okay, you know. So that's the importance of doing this. Be to able to do that, to be able to clean your home when you actually get it, when you get your home, so that it's more presentable for guests. And then not only that, you learn what it takes to actually keep your home clean, and find different ways to actually do that better. Because there are lots better ways. Like I'm using this traditional broom now. If I get money, I could actually invest in something like a vacuum or something else. I could invest in more futuristic things to actually make the cleaning thing more easier. But it's important that I do these things the way that it is now, before actually upgrading that, because I don't want to rush my way into the future. And then what would be is basically a lifestyle inflation. I would basically inflating my lifestyle beyond my means, spending my money on unnecessary things, where basically basically that would basically put more, me into debt. It's better for me to just basically just do it, keep it the way it is now, learn how to do these things on my own, so I spend less on need all of that, and then boom, when I'm in a better situation again, then I can make more better investment to be better able to clean the home. So that's why I really think about it. Mm. That's basically it for this episode. Thank you for listening. I look forward for the next episode. Mhm.
Well, this is the end of the episode. Thanks for watching and look forward for the next episode. To support this podcast, go to anchor.fm/CSSB/support or become a sponsor for this episode. If you have a product that you want to have more exposure, DM me on the Instagram page, Reframing Mindset Podcast, or on Twitter at ReframingP. Either way would help. Thank you regardless for listening, and here's a preview for the next episode.